What's up guys, it is that Pan again. I'm here again with another video, and today we're going to be just going through some of the bracketing. This one should be a bit of a quicker video as there are a lot of pretty unfair matchmaking, I'd say, and this is why it's going to be even faster since there's less for me to really talk about. And the first thing is really just B1 through 4 for the most part, and I will be using another thing to kind of go through the brackets because right now I'm in region 6 and my thing is like at the very bottom and I don't want to have to scroll up every single time. I'm like in 3 different regions right now, so I'm not looking forward to doing this because I think the most vital time to strike is at reset, right? If you're trying to get points, and that's kind of annoying if I have to spread my attention onto 3 regions and potentially like 4 to 5 accounts at a time, right? That's why I prefer to be in like one place. But let's just hop right into it. Let me talk about something else real quick actually, guys. I swear I feel like the devs are so sneaky with these Black Friday deals because I swear this is like a pack we get normally, except I can't find the pack that it normally is, right? But I think it's like they give us purple polyamor instead of blue, and it's literally the same exact format. This is just a different method. And I low-key feel like it's more expensive. Like if you guys know the saying that 99% of deals on Black Friday you've seen throughout the year, that's the kind of thing I'm thinking with the devs. They're kind of sketch for that one. Not gonna lie. But I mean, guys, Black Friday low-key a scam. Okay, let's just hop right into it. So we're looking at B1. It's 16, 36, and 96. One thing I've noticed is I don't think they've ever put 3 big three big regions in one bracket, like 16, 96, 102, 4, 26. I'd consider those really big regions. Maybe region 10 as well right now, but I feel like they never put 3 in one bracket. They always have 2 really strong groups, and then they have one kind of mediocre alliance, and that can also be, one not mediocre, but just a lesser region, right? Like no offense to 36 right now, but these guys are just fodder. These guys are literally fodder, and you see this all the time with regions just being thrown in as it's like being thrown in the slaughterhouse. It just makes no sense. And I mean, you even have it in B2. So I mean, I think it's pretty obvious. Like, whale fights are just gonna be whale fights. It's kind of hard to determine who will quote unquote win. And honestly, I don't think it really matters in DarkSeal. I try to be fair when like I have the choice of like giving back Metro and stuff. Honestly, I don't think I think Metro fights are interesting, but I don't think it's really it really matters to hold the Metros and stuff. But either way, I think 36 kind of screwed over in this bracket. You also have B2. It's region 4, 102, and 17. I think honestly, whoever gets the most points is probably going to be mostly determined off of who holds the second metro, right? Like if you're able to get the second metro down, GG buddy. I mean, you even have a 17 here in between 4 and 102. And I mean, look at all these bases, dude. I feel like these guys are about to get run through, and I feel bad. Honestly, feel bad for these regions always being thrown in these matchups because it's like, what do? I feel like 17 is always given the bad side of things. Like, is it just me, or you've seen spec, especially in like islands that they shouldn't be in, like over and over and over and over and over? I swear they've been in like 10 bad brackets, and then you also just have DarkSeal where they repeatedly get thrown in whale brackets. And I mean, region 17 as a whole isn't weak, but just like, what are they supposed to do? They don't have the mega whales and stuff, and I think that's the issue with having a semi-strong region but not having like insane mega whales to kind of carry you with like gear and stuff. And overall, I don't know, man, like it's kind of rough. And you got 102 in there too. I kind of want to see just how well ROK does, because I've watched a little bit of ROK, but I don't know like the full extent of them and stuff. So now we have B3, we have region 8, we have 10, and we have 41. I don't know, man. 10 right now, they'll still probably crush these other 2. Honestly, they still have some good mega whales here. I feel kind of bad for 8 and 41. I mean, 41's got a really strong group as well, but it's like like just what is the point of kind of fighting these mega whales? You know what I mean? Like, you really need to be able to kind of put these whale alliances in one bracket. Like, there's literally nobody to contend against 10 here, right? Like, you even got in B4 and that's region 26 versus region 15 and region 35. And it's like, what is the point of that? At least put region 10 and 26 together. I mean, I understand that they're allies and they're probably not going to fight, but you know, at the very least, these are well aligned, like well regions, and just throwing them in like in a bracket with, you know, these kind of smaller regions is really discouraging. Like even region 15 is kind of the same as region 17 for me. These guys get screwed over so much, like with their bracketing. I never understand it, and I feel kind of bad for region 15 because it's like you kind of just get used to it and you're like, well, you know, this is something I can expect now. And sorry about my dog back there. B5, we have region 14, we have region 40, and we have region 42. This one feels a little bit more even to me. I think like one thing I've noticed a lot with regions like 14, for example, I think region 14 is probably mismatched in this somewhat. Their strength isn't like on par with the other ones, and that kind of adds up to me. But even if it was on par, I feel like the issue with a region like this is they're spread into so many alliances, and you might have like for example, 1T6 and 90 mil, and then you have like a bunch of kind of mid-sized players, and that kind of goes to the same with all these alliances. And with them being so spread apart, it's so hard to coordinate with like in comparison to a region that's maybe 1 or 2 alliances specifically, whereas this region is maybe split into 4 or 5 alliances, right? And I always find that to be kind of an issue when kind of doing something like DarkSeal, if you're trying to coordinate fights and all that. It's really annoying. Plus, like if you want actual rally captains, you know, not all these alliances have rally captains, and not all of them want to join like the main alliance to kind of fight. I mean, you look at region 40, they're mostly just 2 alliances. The other alliances, I mean, 2.4 billion, nothing crazy. And I mean, like they can kind of coordinate better. At least like each alliance can coordinate separately. You guys get the point, right? I feel like if you're when you're spreading to that many alliances, it kind of feels like you're mismatched here. And it's also like you don't have a lot of whales usually. I don't know if it's just me or if it's just me thinking that, but I feel like those regions don't have like a ton of whales when they kind of have like main alliance, and then they have like the other alliances kind of spread around, and then it kind of bloats up the combat strength of a region, which is kind of absurd. We'll look at B6. We got region 55, we got region 147, and we got 159. So I think 147, I've reviewed these guys before. They are pretty powerful. We have region 55 here with a lip. Honestly, not a bad group. I think this bracket maybe is a little bit more skewed towards 147, but overall I don't think it's like totally absurd to the point of it being like in comparison to B1 through 4, right? I mean, these are a lot of T6 players, probably a lot of fighters in general. So to be fair, 147 probably has a vast advantage in like fight power, but overall it's not like to the point where it's kind of discouraging, right? I mean, you even have 159 here with King looking like a champ. Let's look at 147. Or sorry, I don't know why I just said 147. B7. We got B7 here. We got 43. We got 98, and we got 121. You know, every time I see 98, I usually think, man, these guys are about to own this bracket, because, you know, I wouldn't say 98 is like some overwhelming powerhouse like you know, H&B, Boone, DHX, right? But they're still a really strong alliance with a pretty good amount of T6 players. But overall, it's not like they're, you know, kind of overwhelming. They do have MK, and MK is an absolute monster. I think having like a mega whale like that generally changes the shape of battles, right? Like having Landshark, for example, if you have someone like that, that can really change how matchmaking is really skewed in your favor. You know what I mean? If you have like one mega whale in your bracket, it's just it's wraps. It's wraps. I mean, 43. I've never really had issues with them. I think they're pretty solid. We'll just look at 98 real quick. 98. Honestly, I think they're like slightly stronger than 121. I think 121 is honestly a little bit strong after I looked at them. I mean, I don't think they have like an insane T6 player base, but obviously it's nothing to laugh at or scoff at. You know, it's still significant, and they're nearly 10 billion might. I think I don't know. I don't really have much to say here. Did he change his name from MK to MC? Because I swear that was MK. But yeah, we'll just look at 121. I don't think there's a lot for me to say to this bracket. I think this bracketing is a little bit more even. You know, it could be worse. It could be better probably too. But it's not actually that bad. And you do have a pretty good T6 base. But you can kind of see the difference when looking at a group like HAO, right? Look at B8 though. We have 21, we have 22, and we have 49. These are a bit older regions. 21, ND21. Honestly, ND21's still going pretty strong considering they lost like their mega whale players. They don't have like a ton of T6 players here. I mean, let me look at Grow. Yeah, it looks like it's just like a all alliance here. I mean, STS honestly might have more. Well, they have like one bigger whale than ND21. 22 is Lost. I always feel like Lost is a pretty good group. I feel like they have a really good core group of players. I mean, I think the only thing that they're lacking is maybe filling up their members. And this might be intentional, but it is good to have maybe people who can just farm, donate, and stuff, even if it's just a bunch of farm accounts. But considering they're at like 120 members, being nearly 10 billion might is pretty just impressive. And I think like their overall like player base here is pretty high up, and probably a lot of fighters in general, right? Like you can have a lot of T6 players, but it's not really going to matter if those T6 players aren't willing to put up numbers on the field or, you know, actually compete. We have a 49. I couldn't find Noble. I think Noble is in another alliance here, you know, my boo thing. I honestly think that 22 is the powerhouse of this bracket. I think 21 and 49 are maybe more balanced. But I think 22 honestly is much stronger in comparison to the other two, just because they had that really good core base of players, right? B9, we have 28, we have 48, and we have 56. So I've seen God W. These guys are pretty powerful group of players. We had them in G1 last time, running some rallies. They have a decent amount of T6 players, considering all in all. We'll look at 48 real quick. I mean, I feel like I usually look at the main alliance. There are other alliances here, although like more or less lacking as T6 players. I think, did they merge last time for that last island event? Because I recognize Sniper from God. If you know, if you're watching this, guys, tell me, did you guys merge like your main players together or something last event? Okay, we'll look at 48 now. 48, I'm not. Sometimes like I know these regions, but I'm not familiar with them. So 48, maybe they're like passing around Metro. I feel like this is a similar situation to 14, although less severe, because you have most of the main power in like TH45 here, and then you have kind of like I think like they're kind of spread out more, with like not like mega groups, but kind of like smaller groups in these other alliances. But you guys get my point, right? I feel like that's kind of skews matchmaking a little bit, like if you had God W versus Teach 45, honestly think that these guys are honestly look pretty good. I actually think that might be a little bit more even. I think God W might just have more troops though and more players. That would maybe be the big differentiating factor. All right, we're looking at 56 now. Sorry this post is out so late, by the way. I've just been unable to record and stuff. I think that 58 looks, I mean, unless they're spread out in these other alliances, I think that they're just lacking the T6 numbers, really. I mean, they're a little bit here. I think that 28 is probably the stronger group. I think that 48 comes up maybe second in my opinion, and then, you know, this is probably like last in the league of alliances. We're looking at the last bracket though. We're gonna look at B10 here. I know this video was kind of a little simple. I didn't do a lot of crazy commentary. I'm just kind of chilling. And we're looking at B10. We got 142. Not bad, honestly. This looks like not bad considering it's like 120 members, 5.5 billion. They do have like a, looks like they have some like upper player base here. Definitely not bad. Okay, we're gonna move on though after checking out this other alliance. Yeah, it looks like they're maybe spread out a little bit. This is pretty solid. Looks like nearly 10 billion might spread out between these two alliances. Not only that, they do have like looks like a pretty good whale base. This doesn't look like a group that maybe migrated down, which kind of enforces the fact that these guys are probably more whale-ish than maybe another group kind of in their bracket, right? Like I think 161 is mob, right? Or is this the wrong region? Okay, never mind. It's the next one. It should be 164. P checks. I'm not sure if these guys are migrators. Just based off the ID on the first one, this guy's a migrator. This guy isn't a migrator, it looks like. This guy isn't. You know, I mean, the thing is, I just think it's kind of like, you know, where's all the whales at here? 142 definitely looks way stronger. I don't think these guys might be able to like maintain field control if they had to, like, you know, do like a metro fight over them. And you have 164. So what I was kind of saying earlier is, you know, I say this a lot, but I think 164 is a good group, honestly. Mob in them. These guys do fight. These guys do like actually like to fight, and I think that's pretty nice. But a group like 124, or sorry, 142, they just have a lot more natural whales from like lower regions. And I say natural, such as, you know, they're a lot younger, and that's usually more threatening. Like, I say this a lot, but and you guys probably already know this, but you know, I just find them more intimidating when you're kind of going against a younger group of whales at like the same size or scale as you. It's just more intimidating, and it's like, you know, these guys are probably more likely to put up some insane numbers on us, and that is scary, right? But I think that 164 could probably put up a good fight. They could probably hold themselves off if they really wanted. I think that 142, in my personal opinion, is the stronger group, just considering these are actual younger whales, and it doesn't look like they're like mega whales, obviously, but they do look like they can spend a considerable amount. You know, they're overall looking like they do fight, you know, actual fighters here. But yeah, you guys give me your thoughts. You know, if you guys had a good matchmaking. I'm sorry this video is out a little bit late. Tomorrow I will have my video on the Thanksgiving event. I'll put that up. And then I should start commencing with my island videos. I might either upload my video from the ruins fight first, or I will upload a checkpoint fight, and then I'll just continue off videos from there, because I was fighting in, I think it was G14 or something, and you know, if you were with me in that bracket, you know, I'll be doing videos in that, right? Because there weren't like a lot of fights to be had in G1 last time, and it was kind of uninteresting. And you know, I was fighting from Prim in Region 1, or Prime in Region 1, so you know, you can look forward to that. I'm in like 3 brackets right now, guys. I'm in 3 freaking brackets right now. This is gonna be a little annoying at reset. You know, if I record, I record. If I don't, I don't. You know, at the end of the day, I am a player, by the way. So, you know, don't always look out for videos for an event, because sometimes I'm just chilling. Sometimes I'm just on my PC, you know, doing my thing. But yeah, I do appreciate you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and yeah, we'll see you guys in the next video. So that is it, and peace out.